Welcome to day one edition of creativeness on this channel, but regardless, today I'm going to be taking a look at every single Vegitoid Blue currently in the game and just giving you my thoughts and which one is just the best overall. And this may be obvious to some people, but there are certain factors where one can be better than the other. It mostly comes down to the potential system. But I hope you guys are having a great day as always, and if you do enjoy today's video, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hope you guys enjoy the content coming over the next week or so. Still haven't decided, but regardless, let's go ahead and get started with the most recent one technically. Wait, never mind. LR Vegitoid Blue is out on both versions now. So we're going to be starting with the Tech Vegitoid Blue. Let's say the one that most people expect to win. So he gives the free key to heroes as well as a 120% stat increase, but you need a unit of every single type. So you need agility, tech, in STR and physical on your team for his leader skill to work, which is very interesting. It makes you run a rainbow team, which is a bit interesting because before it was so mono orientated where you needed like 6 units of just one type, and you know, the majority of the units of one type you would normally run on a hero team because that's where the majority of the most powerful ones were. For example, if we go back to Heroes way back when the physical Vegitoid Blue was released, you would have physical Vegitoid Blue, you would then have, you know, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Super Vegitoid. That is instantly like 2 agility type units, and you could even implement someone like who am I trying to think of here? Super Saiyan Blue Goku. You know, there are a lot of units of the same type that were extremely powerful, and you would normally run all of them on the exact same team. But with Tech Vegitoid Blue, you can't do that. You legit need one unit of every single type to run on this particular team, which isn't too much of an issue for most people. But if you're just starting an account, you pick up Tech Vegitoid Blue, it's like you may have to run some super rares because you don't have too many powerful SSRs of that particular type. But regardless, moving on to a super attack mechanic, he raises his attack and defense and causes immense damage. So what this basically means is that he gets stronger with every single super attack. Great chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, each of which has a chance to become a super attack. And he gets a 15% attack increase for every single attack. It doesn't have to be a super attack, it can be normal attacks as well. So let's say he starts at 0. He has the potential to get 3 super attacks, or just 3 attacks in general, without the potential system. So if he gets all 3 attacks to go off, despite them not being super attacks, that is instantly going to be a 45% attack increase, and obviously the max that he can get is 150, so he needs a total of 10 attacks for him to be at his max. But there is a post on the Dokkan subreddit, which I'm hopefully going to find, that states that the more dupes Vegitoid Blue has in him, of course this is a tech one, the more dupes he has in him, the lower his damage actually is, because he just clears stages he just clears stages so fast by himself, which is crazy. So he's kind of a bit of a detriment to himself with more dupes, because his attack stat doesn't get as high, but he takes stages out faster. It makes any sense at all. So it's kind of all over the place. But that just shows you how powerful of a unit he is. His link skills are Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Warrior Gods, Power Bestowed by God, Fuse Fighter, Over in the Flash, Fierce Battle. His categories are Realm of Gods as well as the Potara category. So the thing about this Vegitoid Blue on the Realm of Gods category as well as the Potara category is the fact that he doesn't fit that well on these particular teams just because he has Over in the Flash. You take a look at the Potara category, there are very minimal units with the Over in the Flash link on this particular team. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know if I'm going to be showing it on the screen or not. But apart from maybe the physical Vegitoid Blue, you have Candy Vegito. Obviously, you can't run a physical Vegitoid Blue with a tech one, so that is instantly cut out. The only other unit that has that link, from the looks of it, is Candy Vegito, which you aren't going to be running unless you are very desperate. And if you have a look at the Realm of Gods team, there is a bit more compatibility there because you do have the STR Super Saiyan God Goku, who is optimal on that team because of the amount of support that he provides through his links to units like, you know, Ultra Instinct Goku. And I'm gonna just double check real quick if he is the only one there, because off the top of my head, okay, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Obviously you do have UI. No, does UI Goku have it? I'm pretty certain he doesn't. I think he has Prepared for Battle and oh, he does have Rodent Flash. Okay, so when it comes to the Realm of Gods category, it's a pretty common link, but again, it depends on units that you run. So let's say that on the Potara category, Tech Vegitoid Blue isn't a very good fit there because there is legit like one viable unit for the Tech Vegito Blue to link up with, and that is Candy Vegito. But when it comes to the Realm of Gods team, you know, Vegito Blue does have a bit more compatibility there. And I don't think this is that much of an issue. But of course, on a Realm of Gods team, he gets a 150% attack increase instead of the 170. So his attack is going to be a bit lower, but overall he is going to be linking up a bit better. So I'm going to quickly read the details here, you know, just the additional ones. He has a 12 key multiplier of 160%. So he and Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, the SDR one, are currently the only Transcended Ultra Res in the game with this, and that drastically increases the damage output. Super Saiyan Blue Vegito must attack 10 times for his 150% attack increase. After that, it can only be reset by the end of the fight. So, let's say you take out a particular stage on Boss Rush, and then you move on to the next stage, that's when it resets. And the same applies to Super Battle Road, of course. The raising attack and defense is a 20% boost, and this is different for every single unit. You have units like the Physical Kaioken Goku that get a 50%, you know, attack and defensive increase, whereas with Vegito it's 20%. I believe it's the exact same for the Ultimate Gohan. But one thing that I think is correct is that Vegito's second super attack, or his second attack, is a 70% chance for it to go off. But the chances of it being a super attack are only 50%. So there are a lot of percentages in there. So basically the second attack is, you know, basically guaranteed to go off, but it's not guaranteed to be a super attack. But you can definitely see he has a lot of damage potential. Unfortunately, his technically best category when it comes to damage, he doesn't link up too well in it, but obviously he still has the Realm of Gods category, which is still a very, very good team. Now, if we move on to the LR Vegito Blue, how controversial this unit was. So he gives 3 key to super types as well as a 70% stat increase. So very similar to the Tech Vegito Blue leader skill. The biggest difference by far is that you don't need to use 1 unit of every single type, and it gives a 50% less stats increase, which is why I hoped that he would have dropped a bit earlier on the Japanese version of the game. The good thing is, global players will be able to utilize this skill fully up until the release of, you know, the Tech Vegito Blue on that particular version of the game, which should happen in around 2 or 3 months. So there's a lot of time to play around with this leader skill. This is probably the best, well, okay, one of the best hero leader skills in the game. You do have the Kid Gohan, the LR one, that provides a bit more of an increase if I'm not mistaken, but the issue is he isn't actually that good as a card. Now the 1000 day Goku, but again, that's kind of stretching it a little because not everyone has access to that particular unit, and I know that not too many people, well, I say not too many people, but I know that some people may have a bit of a struggle to obtain LR Vegito Blue because you do need Dokkan Fest, but the point still stands, he is the easiest one to obtain by far. And if you manage to obtain the Gohan, I would imagine that you have a pretty solid team. But regardless, he has the 12 key super attack as well as the 18 key super attack. The 12 key super attack raises his attack and defense and causes colossal damage, and his 18 key super attack greatly raises attack for 1 turn and causes mega colossal damage. And I'm going to quickly read the details down here. So he has the exact same passive, so to speak, or the mechanic as the Tech Vegito Blue, where he gets a 20% attack and defensive increase per super attack, but that only applies to the 12 key super attack. So you can get his 12 key to the point where it could be higher than the increase from the 18 key, but the issue with that is it will take way too long to get to that point, so you just want to aim for the 18 key super attack the majority of the time. But the good thing is, if you do get a 12 key super attack, at the very least you're going to be getting a bit of a substantial increase to make up for the fact that you aren't going to be getting the 18 key super attack. Now his passive skill gives him an 80% attack and defensive increase. He raises his key by up to 10. The less health you have, the greater the key boost. His links are Super Saiyan, Warrior Gods, Prepared for Battle, Power Bestowed by God, Fused Fighter, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. So, you can tell straight away, because he has that Prepared for Battle link, he is going to be fitting much better than the Tech Vegito Blue on the Potara category, as well as the Realm of Gods category. Of course, you do have UI Goku, you have LR Goku Black. There's a lot of units with the Realm of Gods team. So both Tech Vegito Blue so far and LR Vegito Blue fit perfectly on the Realm of Gods team. But the LR Vegito Blue does have a bit of an advantage on the Potara team. So it may actually be beneficial for you to run LR Vegito Blue on the Potara category instead of the Tech Vegito Blue, especially if you have LR Vegito Blue at 100%. And it's not like you're missing out on any damage when it comes to the Potara team, because it has LR Vegito anyway, and obviously LR Black and such. There's a lot of powerful units on that team, so you aren't going to be missing out on that much damage if you decide to get rid of the Tech Vegito Blue. But regardless, He has an incredible link set for both teams. He is going to hit hard at 100%, and again, this is assuming that you have him at 100%. Basically, every single scenario, I see them at 100% for the most part, but when it comes to which one is better than the other in certain situations, obviously, they aren't all going to be at 100%. But the point is, LRVG Blue, incredible unit, fits well on both of his current categories in the game. A bit of a shame that he doesn't get a bit more of an attack increase from his passive, but that's not too much of an issue because you can legit get his attack stat very close to 3 million. And of course, if you match Beloved Crest, it's going to be even better, but the fact that he is self-sufficient also helps you out massively. The downside is, both of these teams take next to no damage, so it's very unlikely that you're gonna get like the 10 key completely, but I am gonna go over how that works as well. But before I do get into that, the greatly raising attack for 1 turn is a 50% addition to the super attack multiplier. Now, the passive skill Clarification. At 100% health, he gives himself 2 key, under 80% 4 key, under 60% 6 key, under 40% 8 key, and under 20% he gives himself a 10 key. Very unlikely that you're going to be getting that low in health, even without LR Black that consistently heals, just because you have a lot of units on those particular teams that are capable of tanking the hits. So, LRVG Blue, great unit. Now let's move on to the final one, and the very first Vegito Blue in the game. We have the physical Vegito Blue. So he gives the free key to the super types as well as a 50% stat increase. Causes immense damage to the enemy. Great chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, each of which has a chance to become a super attack. Damage received from normal attacks, minus 30%, pardon me, and he counters with tremendous power. Now, he has Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Over in a Flash, Prepared for Battle, Power Bestowed by God, Fierce Battle, as well as the Fused Fighter Link. So, you can tell that he is somewhat outdated in comparison to the others. Obviously, his leader skill is the worst one by far, when you compare it to the other Vegito Blues. But he does have a 12 key multiplier of 150%. The tremendous power multiplier for the counters is 300%. Of course, the counters can be critical hits. The great chance in the passive skill for an additional attack is 70%. The chance for the additional attack to become a super attack is 10%. So I would imagine it works the exact same for the Tech Vegito Blue. So it's a 70% chance to launch an additional attack, but it's a 10% chance for it to be a super attack. So very low chance. But obviously, if you get that super attack to go off, it's going to be dealing a ton of damage. But like the LRVG Blue, he is going to be fitting very well on the Realm of Gods team, as well as the Batara category. Both the physical Vegito Blue and the LRVG Blue may actually fit better on a Batara team than a tech one, just because of that link. Like Vegito Blue, or the physical Vegito Blue, has both the Prepared for Battle as well as the Over in a Flash link. He even has Fused Fighter. I mean, obviously, all of them have the Fused Fighter link, which, of course, in certain situations, he is going to be sharing with certain units. But most of his damage is definitely going to be coming from the counters. If you have dupes, then obviously that's going to be even better because you can get critical hits from the counters. But now, going back to what I was saying at the start, and how the potential system can affect the overall placement of some of these units. So let's say that the LRVG Blue is at 100%. How many dupes are you going to need in the other units to be better than him? So, we have the LRVG Blue at 100%. For the physical one to be better than the STR LRVG Blue, he needs 3 dupes. But for the tech one to be better than LRVG Blue, he just needs 1 dupe in him. So, a bit of a difference there. Physical one needs 3 dupes, tech one needs just the 1 dupe. But when it comes to which one is better overall, it honestly depends on the team, and it depends on the amount of dupes that you have. If you have LRVG Blue at 100%, then obviously, and the others without, any dupes, then LRVG Blue is going to be the best one. If you have the Tech Vegito Blue at 100, or not even at 100%, you have the Tech Vegito Blue with just 1 dupe, then of course he is going to be better than the LR one, but he is still not going to be fitting that well on the Batara team, so you would still rather run the LRVG Blue on our Batara team, but obviously when it comes to the Realm of Gods team, Vegito Blue is going to have a nice spot there, and I know it's getting kind of confusing because they are technically all Vegito Blues, but it's very specific on the teams that you are running and the amount of dupes that you have. For the most part, I want to say that they are all very good. When it comes to the leader skills, obviously the tech one has the best leader skill by far. When it comes to their damage output, again, that is entirely reliant on the dupes. And let's say that you don't have any dupes in the LRG Soy Blue, then obviously the other ones are going to be way better. So it does play the dupes into it quite a lot. If they are all at 100%, which of course is this particular scenario, then by far the Tecmo G Blue is at the top. If you take a look at them without any dupes, then the L of G Blue is going to come at the bottom most likely, just because the physical one does have the counters and the potential to super attack multiple times. But regardless, that is my ranking. Tecmo G Blue at the top, and it's kind of interchangeable between the physical one and STR one. But again, it's extremely situational, depends on the category that you want to run, depends on the amount of dupes. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video as always, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one.